You are listening to the Drink Less Lifestyle podcast with Dr. Sherry Price, episode number 139.
Welcome to Drink Less Lifestyle, a podcast for successful women who want to change their relationship with alcohol. If you want to drink less, feel healthier, and start loving life again, you're in the right place. Please remember that the information in this podcast does not constitute medical advice. Now, here's your host, Dr. Sherry Price.
Well, hello, my beautiful friend. I hope you are having an amazing and epic day. And if you want to make your day even more amazing and more epic, I suggest you come follow me on Instagram. In the month of May, I am giving away a gift box. If you participate in that, go to my feed and you will see that I am doing a May giveaway. And I'd love for you to check it out, join, and follow me on Instagram. This is one way I want to increase connection with you and support and encourage you to feel your best and most amazing self. So today on the podcast, I want to do something just a little different. I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you, my friend. And this is going to be a really impactful and meaningful conversation. So if you're listening to this podcast and you are on the go, if you're exercising or you're out taking a walk, that's all wonderful and keep doing that. If you're driving, I just want to encourage you to maybe press pause and come back to this episode when you can have your full attention and be fully present. And I'd even recommend sitting down. And if you're willing to do that, I'd also say grab a pen and a piece of paper because I want you to jot down just a few things that I want to tell you today. And the reason I'm doing this is because I think this is a very special message for you to hear. I also think it's a message that if you allow it to really open up to it, you can find that this message alone can change your life. So since this message is so important that I want to share with you, I'd really like your undivided attention. So if that means that you need to pause this podcast and come back to it, please do that. And the big reason I want you to do that is because these are not words I just want you to hear. I want you to understand and have them wash over you so they transform you. Now, what I'm going to be sharing with you is absolutely true and something that you may understand, but yet not know. And if you can't even wrap your head around that, that's okay. Just go with me. I'll walk you through this because oftentimes we go through life just on autopilot, right? We're checking off the next thing. We got to get this done, this done, this done, and then dinner on the table and then clean up the house and then get ready for the next day. And life just becomes this series of check boxes. And so maybe listening to this podcast became a checkbox for you. And so I want this episode to hit you really differently. I really want you to get the most value out of what I'm going to offer you today and what I'm going to say with you today. So if you're listening to this in the morning or before noon, I'd say grab a cup of coffee. Let's sit down together. Let's have a heart-to-heart chat. Because I want you to think of this as me coming in your living room or your office space or wherever you're listening to this because I care and because this message is so important for you to hear. So are you ready? I hope you are. So get cozy in your chair, maybe even grab a blanket if you want. And what I'm about to say is 100% true. And what I want to tell you is that you are free. You are already free. Yes, you are. Now, I want those words just to wash over you. Think about that. You are free. You're free from any hangups that you have in your life. In this moment, you are completely free. Can you just embrace the significance of, in this moment, you are free from alcohol. You are free from anything that holds you back. In this moment on, you are completely free. So looking at what that means that it doesn't matter what you did in your past. And it doesn't matter what you've said in your past or how you've acted in your past or your past desires or your past hangups or your past choices or any of the mistakes that you feel you've made in the past. None of that matters. Not now and not going forward. Why? Because you are free. You don't have to take any of that baggage from the past into your present and into your future. You have a new moment, a new day, and a new way anytime you choose to accept it, anytime you choose to step into it. You can just get up and walk away from things that have held you back, from habits that have held you back, from things that have held you down. You can walk in a whole new direction into a whole new different set of habits. You can choose to do things differently anytime you want. You know why? Because you're free. You don't have to stay the same person. If you don't like who you were yesterday, fine. You don't have to be that person anymore. You could choose to be differently from this point going forward. Why? Because you are free, my friend. And actually, if you think about it, I encourage you to change. Why? Because you can. Because you have that right. Because you have that freedom. Because you have that gift. You've been given the gift of God's grace, and He chose to give you free will. So you're free at any time to choose differently. You have the ultimate freedom. Just think about all that entails. It means you can dress differently. You can wear pink lipstick if you've never worn pink lipstick before, but now all of a sudden have a desire to wear pink lipstick. Wear pink lipstick. You can even choose to decide to change your hair color, your hairstyle, or your hair length. And any actions that you've done that you're just ready to let go of, you can let go of them because you're free. If you're single and you want to be with a partner, you can go ask that person out or anybody out because you're free. If you're married and your relationship has been ho-hum and you want to improve it, you're free to do that too. If in the past you've relied on food in an emotional way that no longer brings you joy and satisfaction like it used to, well, you are free to eat in a way that brings you freedom from that emotional eating and free to be a woman who doesn't have that hang up anymore in her life. Maybe you want to walk a little taller. You're free to start doing that. Maybe you want to put on heels or flats or get trendy sneakers. You are free to do that. And anytime you want to change your relationship with alcohol, you are absolutely free to do that. I want us all to realize the magnitude of this gift that we have, that we are free. We are free to be different than who we were yesterday, who we were a few weeks ago, who we were a few months ago, and even who we were a few decades ago. Because that is the ultimate truth. We are free. We can pivot anytime we want to. If you don't like the results you are currently getting, no problem. You can pivot. You can drop those old habits like they're a thing of the past. And that's where they stay, in the past. Because you are free to change. You are free to pivot in a new direction. Because when we really think about it, we know we're not the same person we were a decade ago. Our likes have changed. We've changed. And so if we are not the same person we were a decade ago, why would we act the same way? And as I think about how I have changed and aged over time, right? Of course, then my drinking and my way of eating should reflect that. If food and alcohol are now impacting my body in different ways because I'm changed, my metabolism has changed, my hormones have changed, so much about me has changed, then I'm free to choose differently moving forward with the new knowledge that I have. Because now that I'm older, I'm wiser. I have more experience to draw from. I've learned a lot over the years and decades. And this is a gift. It's the gift of wisdom. And we use that wisdom to give us discernment. And do you know how much wisdom I've collected in all the years and in all my experiences and all the ways I've done things wrong and right? I've collected a lot of wisdom, my friends, just as you have too. So let's use that wisdom that you've collected as a gift. Let's not waste it. Don't let another day go by wishing for something you already have. You have freedom. You are free. Free to choose differently around food and alcohol. Free to show up differently as you choose. Free to stop doing things that no longer serve you. Free to start doing things that you've been wanting to try. You are free, my dear friend. And I really want this message to resonate with you, to wash over you, to sink into you so it can transform you. I even encourage you to repeat this message to yourself as many times as it takes. I am free. I am already free. I will be practicing my freedom. I am free. Now, what if you actually believed that you are free? Imagine what you would do. Imagine what you would accomplish. Imagine what you would create. Imagine that the past was totally irrelevant to where you're at today for you to move forward. It didn't get in your way. You didn't carry it forward. You left all that baggage behind. So as you're hearing me say this as your friend, that you are free, that you are already free, I want to know what comes up for you. When I tell you that you're already free from alcohol, that you don't need it in your life for joy, happiness, to make your life expansive and great, what comes up for you? Because the truth is, you are free. You don't have to pick it up and you don't need it. But if your mind is telling you a different story, notice that the attachment to the alcohol or to whatever else is really only in your mind. But the actual fact of the matter is, the actual truth, the actual reality is, you can set yourself free at any time you choose because you already are free. It's by choosing the alcohol in inappropriate amounts and choosing food that doesn't serve us. That's where we feel tied and in bondage. That's when we feel not free. That's when we feel out of control or doing things against our will. Because our will is that we are free. We have free will. And it's just our mind that creates a narrative that tells us that we are not free, when in fact, we are free. So I want you to really see this reality. And when you really could grasp this concept in your mind and know it in your body, you will truly start acting like you're free. Because as we know, thoughts become things, right? And thoughts create feelings, and then our feelings create our actions. And so if our thoughts are that we are already free and we already feel free, we are going to act free. We're going to look at that alcohol and say, yeah, I don't need it. I'm free. We're going to look at that food in our pantry that's not healthy for us. We're going to be willing to throw it out because we're free. We're free to choose healthier ways, healthier habits. And I love that quote that I posted recently inside of my Facebook group is that we don't choose our future, we choose our habits, and our habits decide our future. So as you hear this message, my friend, doesn't this feel exciting and expansive that you are free? It's like you're a butterfly and you've just emerged from the cocoon and you're spreading your wings and you're heading out into a whole new direction. And you're going to experience the world in a different way. How exhilarating. So, my friend, I encourage you to live today with the truth that you are free. And with this massive amount of freedom, what will you choose? What will you keep in your life? What will you decide to change? And what will you decide to let go? Because the truth is that we are free to reinvent ourselves whenever we want. And this is something we can tap into at any time we allow our minds to open up to this reality, because it is based in reality. And the reality that I want to embrace is that I am free to pivot, free to change, just because I can, because I am always free. And so for you, my friend, give yourself that freedom to change, to pivot, just because you're free. You can cut the ropes of anything you feel that's holding you back or holding you down and walk into your ultimate freedom. All right, my beautiful friend, have an epic week, and I will see you next time. If you want to change your relationship with alcohol and with yourself, then come check out Epic You. It's where you get individualized help mastering the tools so you can become a woman who can take it or leave it and be in control around alcohol in any situation. Epic You is the place for women who want to be healthy, confident, and empowered to accomplish their goals and live their best life. Come join us over at epicu.com/epicu. That's epicu.com/EPICYOU. I can't wait to see you there.